Hey everybody, it's Shelly. So today I'm going to talk about camera. There it is. I'm going to talk about the law of attraction and money and how it all works. And the reason that, just one second here, I just want to make sure that Madison said she was coming over. I just want to make sure she wasn't here. Yeah. Okay. So, the reason that I chose this subject for today's video is because I was on a bunch of law of attraction groups yesterday. I don't know, they were just coming up in my feed because I belong to the groups. But there was someone that put a post and she said basically, she's been working the law of attraction in her favor for a while, and she just doesn't understand why her boss can be so rich financially and just complain about customers and complain about employees and just be this grumpy, unhappy person. And does that mean that he's going to lose all his money soon because he's so unhappy? And I think that people that don't have money get confused because they are in this programming of lack, that in order to have money, you have to be happy. And I think that what causes that is that this video is just jumping all over the place. I think that what causes that is that people that don't have a lot of money and living paycheck to paycheck and struggling financially feel like their whole lives are going to be happier. Everything in their life is going to be happier if they have a ton of money. And if they just had as much money as their boss did, they would have nothing to complain about. And so what I just want to clear up is that boss that has all that money and has that business and is still just being a miserable cow, for a lack of a better term, he's not happy. His life isn't happy. He might be happy with the things he can buy because he's got all this money coming in, but he's not happy with the people in his life because look at him, he's complaining. So you can look at people and say, oh, well, they should be so happy because they have money. But money is just one little piece of the pie of your whole life. If you take a pie chart, and then divide it up into like 5 pieces and put finances, spirituality, physical, your work, and like your relationships, okay? And you split that up. And everybody that is in this place of lack thinks if we just put an umbrella over that pie with a bunch of money, that all those things are going to be great. All money does is it enhances who you already are. So that boss that's complaining and being miserable to everyone around him, he was miserable before or during or all the time that he's had that money. That money doesn't make his relationships better. That just makes him be able to complain more, and nobody's going to say anything to him because they don't want to lose their job. So what everything comes down to when it comes to the law of attraction, like people think that the law of attraction is, if they just, ask for it and visualize on it. The thing with visualizing is you have to feel it. You have to feel it when you're visualizing. If you're visualizing that you want more money, you have to feel it when you go out into the world. When you are walking through the store and you see the big screen that you want, and immediately it goes through your head, oh, I can't afford that. God, it would be nice to have that. I wish I had more money. And then you go home and go, why don't I have more money? Because you just said that you don't have any money. That goes for your weight. I want to look thinner. I want to lose weight. And then you get undressed to get in the shower and you look down at your body and you go, oh, I hate my body. It's so horrible. How did I let myself get this far? But then you get frustrated because you're like, I'm asking for a better body and I'm not getting it. It's like total opposites. You know, I've talked about it before. If you have a person in your life and you really like them and you want to be around them, but when you're out in the world, you're not going to introduce them to anybody and you're just going to ignore them and you're going to put them off to the side. And if you see somebody you know, you're going to be like, can you just stand over there because I don't want you over here? And then they're like, hey, who's that girl over there? Oh, we're not going to talk about her. You know, I mean, I really want her around, but we're just going to keep her over there. That's your relationship with anything. You have to have a good relationship with whatever you want. If you want a better body, you have to have a good relationship with your body. If you want more money, you have to have a good relationship with money. If you want a better person in your life, whether it's friend or romantically, you have to like yourself to bring someone else in. Don't bring someone else in to complete you. Bring someone else in to complement you. So the whole money thing, it's about programming. Something in your head either tells you that you deserve money and you can have money and there's plenty of money to go around, or something in your head says you don't deserve money, there's not enough to go around, you're barely going to make it. So you have to change that programming in your head. And how you do that, the fastest way that I've figured out how to do it is you get yourself into a meditative state. And I know everybody's going, meditation. No, I'm talking about, everybody thinks that I keep saying everybody and always. A lot of people think that meditation is this guru thing where you have to clear your mind, and people that can completely clear their mind when they're meditating are enlightened. Very few. I mean, 0.001% or less of us are enlightened. Our minds are running all the time when we're conscious. So you just close your eyes and you picture your soul around your body, and then you bring it out and you keep bringing it out. Just keep picturing your soul getting bigger and bigger, as big as your house, as big as your town, as big as your country, as big as your world. Push it out beyond like the sun. Feel how big and amazing your soul is. And then ask yourself, where did this programming come from? What did I hear when I was little that told me that and immediately your unconscious mind will answer you. I was 3 and it was Dad. It'll happen like that. And then you bring that to the table. Okay, I was 3 years old and it was Dad. What happened when I was 3 years old and I heard my dad talking about money, and that put that programming into my head? What did I hear? Oh, at 3 years old, he didn't want to be tied down with the white picket fence and the job. So he sold everything and bought a converted school bus. And we went on the road from California to Oregon. No plans, no nothing. Some money in his pocket, his family in a bus. Okay, so that's where that comes from, where I don't like to settle down and where I don't want to be responsible for money. And then you can take that into your world consciously, okay? So that's where that programming comes from. It comes from when you were little. It comes from when you were, like something might have happened to you as an adult or as a teen that was catastrophic financially and made you believe that there is no other way. And if you do this, this is going to happen. You need to go into yourself in a meditative, hypnotic, whatever you want to call it, state, and start asking your unconscious mind what happened to create this. And then bringing that to your table, if you will, to your conscious table, and going, is that really true? Is that really true that my dad's decisions on what he wanted to do and wanted to be free from all of that, what he felt like was tying him down, does that mean that I have to do that too? Is that my truth? No, that's not my truth. I'm happy to be responsible for some finances. I'm happy to put down some roots here and there. Does that mean that I need to hunker down and be, the white picket fence and the 2.5 kids and the dog and the, whatever? No, but that makes me aware of it. That's where it came from. for years I was just like, why don't I want to be responsible for finances? And so, yeah, so that's how you do it. I've been through years of chaos. I started listening to guided meditation and studying manifesting, and boy, have I come a long way in a year. Complete change. Yeah, Jennifer, that is so awesome because it's so true. So for our family, for me and my husband, this clicked about probably like, I think it was right before Christmas time of 2017. So it's been like, what, 8 months, something like that, 8, 9 months. And it was like that. It was just like all of a sudden it clicked. And the guided meditation, if you are worried about meditating, go on YouTube. I do guided meditations on there all the time. There's subliminal stuff that you can fall asleep to that feeds your mind abundant stuff, and you don't even hear it. It's like under ocean waves or music or whatever. You know, I need sound to go to sleep. We usually have a fan on in our room, but sometimes I'll just turn on one of those ocean waves or those binary beats or whatever they are, and it helps. It's like a couple days later, I'll like find some really great deal for reselling or, you know, something like that. And I'm like, oh, and I put 2 and 2 together and I'm like, oh, okay. You have to have money before you can start a business or invest. I am stuck on Social Security because of a disability, and the bank basically told me my income was so low, they won't give me a loan, even with something. Oh, 800 credit score. So there's other ways to invest. There's angel investors. There's like, I know in the past I have gotten a PayPal loan because I've been with PayPal for years because I'm an eBay seller, but there's different ways to do it. And I would highly suggest, so when people are living paycheck to paycheck, my husband and I were in that rut for years. I still have a long way of budgeting and stuff, yes, but I go to sleep every night with them. Can't sleep without them. I started selling on eBay with no money, started by selling stuff around your house. Yeah, Jennifer, that's exactly what I did. I started doing that like 18 years ago. That's awesome. You have 4 eBay accounts. I've always been scared to open another eBay account. But I started like selling the kids' clothes, you know, like the little Nike shoes for my 2-year-old at the time. She's 20 now. But, you know, like she grew out of her Nikes, and then I was like, oh, I could sell those on eBay. And that was back in dial-up and when people would send you money orders. So somebody would bid on your little Nike shoes and they'd pay like $15 for them or whatever back in 2000. And then they would win the auction. And then you would give them your address, and then they would send you a money order, and then you would go cash that money order, and then you would pack that up and write a label and tape it on the box, and then you would take it down to the post office and pay the post office to ship it to wherever. Yeah, you can start a business with nothing. It depends on the business. You know, if you want to start a McDonald's restaurant, obviously you're going to need a huge loan or have a big amount of money in the bank. But you can start small and work your way up. That's what business is. I ended up like selling stuff around the house so much that the kids and my husband would say, okay, I'm going to put these shoes here and I'm probably not going to wear them until next winter, but don't sell them. And they were serious because they knew if I looked at those shoes for a couple months and nobody was wearing them and they were just sitting there in the closet, oh, those are going on eBay. And that's how it was. So, yeah, Money Wisdom. Love that name. I would stay away from loans. If you don't have money, I don't get it. If I want to make a big purchase, I hustle to get the money. Yeah. And I was like that too. I did get a PayPal loan and it worked out great. I was in a really good spot financially. It didn't make or break me. It gave me some opportunity to get some bigger stuff and make some bigger decisions. And it worked for me at the time. But loans aren't right for everybody. You know, I'm still paying off that loan, so 20% of everything that I sell goes to that loan. And sometimes I'm like, but it doesn't, like, when I get myself in that little negative spot, I'm just like, no, I'm paying it off. It's great. I don't even have to think about the payment. It just happens. So yeah, I mean, it just depends on the person. I want to get into real estate, buy and hold, and the renter would make most of the mortgage. There is no way I could come up with. Okay, money wisdom. I have a little history in real estate because I was a real estate agent twice. Wasn't a very good one, but I just want to tell you about there are real estate investors that will pay you a good amount of money to find rundown homes for them to buy and flip. So it's called bird dogging. So I would look that up, bird dogging for wholesale real estate. I know here in the Portland area, there is a company that will literally pay me. So they flip houses, either wholesale houses. So they'll find a rundown house and they will buy it for pennies on the dollar, basically, because the person needs to get out of it before it forecloses or whatever the situation is. They'll buy it and they'll flip it and make like 20 or 30 grand just flipping it to another investor who will flip it into a nice house and sell it and make a huge profit. So, and then they'll also buy those houses themselves and flip them and make a huge profit. It just depends on where they are in their business and how much time they can put into the property at the time. So I, for a while, was going around neighborhoods and finding totally rundown houses and marking down the address and then sending them a letter and saying, look, we buy houses for cash. You know, you see those little signs around. So basically what I was doing, if those people called me, I would let this company know and they would go talk to them if they were open to it and say, look, this is the price we can give you for your house. Are you willing to do that? You know, they'd look at all the logistics of the situation. If they bought one of those houses and flipped it into another wholesaler and say they made $30,000, they would have given me 15 grand. So 15 grand is a lot of money that you could put aside for that house. And as far as being a real estate landlord, I would really recommend, if you're going to do that, to get multi-family, you know, and it's even more money or whatever. But when you rent a house out to someone, when you're a landlord, they can literally destroy it and you have to start from scratch. But when you're renting out apartments, you have multiple units, so they will all take care of themselves. If one person trashes an apartment, you have 20 or 30 other apartments that you're getting money from, so that one apartment isn't going to make or break you. We rented a house out in our old town that we owned, and we literally had to let it go back to the bank because those people destroyed it beyond any sort of repair that we could afford to do. They let the kitchen sink leak and it went down the cabinets and into the living room. And it was probably doing that for 6 months and they didn't say anything to us. The front room was like walking through a marsh and we had to let it go because there was just that we couldn't put that kind of money back into it. So just be super careful with that. I heard a horror story that Section 8 tenant did $80,000 in less than a year. Yeah, people, when you are a landlord, you have zero rights to that house while that person's in there. And it can take you a long time to get them out if they stop paying rent. And like I said, if you have multiple units, if you have an apartment complex, all those other apartments, they're paying rent and taking good care of their apartments. And you have that one or two people. So you're not just like, oh my God, I got to foreclose on this one house because they destroyed it. You can go, oh crap, I'm so glad I'm getting all this income from these 20 other apartments because this one apartment's going to need a whole lot of repair. So I just heard that if you're going to buy a house to live in it. If you're going to invest in real estate to rent out, buy multiple units, like not multiple houses, but like an apartment complex, or like, several duplexes, that are all together, that sort of thing. But that whole bird dogging thing, that can get you on the way. And it's a lot of work in the beginning, but the whole real estate industry is a lot of work. It's a lot of multitasking and juggling people. And yeah, so I would suggest Money Wisdom. And I did this when I first started real estate back in 1999. I would suggest going and talking to someone who's already doing what you want to do. I was going to start with a fourplex and work my way up into larger units. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. But as far as you getting $200,000 in cash, you can do it. You can do it. You just have to work your butt off to do it. Like, if you want to do the real estate thing, you got to get that money. And you can do it. If you enjoy real estate, if you enjoy bird dogging and dealing with real estate investors and stuff, that's going to be fun. And that's another thing I was going to talk about with money. You have to do what's fun. Like, Jennifer understands the whole reselling thing. To me, it's a blast. Like, I'm bummed this week. We're going to go back to our hometown this week because my brother-in-law is getting married. But I'm not going to go to the bins, to the thrift store, to the Goodwill outlet this week because I have enough stuff to list, and we're leaving for 4 days. So, those weeks are like, oh man, I can't go do all that stuff. We found a storage unit that we wanted to buy, but we can't because we don't have time to clean it out before we leave. I found out that you can't say you can't do something. You can do anything you want. It may take a lot of work, but anything can be done. That's true. But I think what's important, I know for me, I don't like doing things that I hate doing. Like, I've been pushing myself into internet, like online marketing and stuff for a while. I'm doing Facebook ads and stuff, and I hate it. So I'm just backing off of it. Like, I don't like doing that. I don't like selling people and closing people and pushing people into something that they're hemming and hawing about. That's what I love about the reselling thing. You just put it out there and it's out on these platforms and people see it and they like it and they buy it. So do something you enjoy. Money Wisdom, if you really love real estate and that whole, I do lawn mowing, but I enjoy the process. Oh, the chat just disappeared. That's weird. Oh, there it goes. That was weird. I do lawn mowing, but I enjoy the process of running the business and satisfying customers more than lawn mowing itself. Yeah, I could see that. But if you really enjoy the real estate business, the bird dogging should be a blast to you. Like, a lot of people, like, I was just mailing them letters, but some people will go up to the door and knock on the door and say, hey, I'm, an associate of blah, 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 real estate investment, and obviously find a real estate investor that wants to work with you and is going to give you $1,000 a lead or share part of the commission with you or whatever. Make sure you get a contract with them of some sort. And then you can literally go knocking on doors if you're into that. I'm not. I got to change the mindset. And yes, you have to like what you do. I love selling online. Took me time because it was burnout getting back into it. Yeah, I get burnout too. I get burnout on the listing part. I could shop for days. I was doing it where I didn't go sourcing again until I had sold everything that I sourced last time. And I've been breaking that rule, and I have a room full of stuff that needs to be listed now. So I am putting on the brakes and getting stuff listed. So yeah, that's the part that burns me out. Yeah, look up the bird dogging, the wholesale real estate bird dogging, because there are companies out there that will pay you a lot of money to find those rundown properties in your neighborhood and other neighborhoods. You can just, spend your day driving around a little and knocking on doors if you're comfortable with that, or copying down addresses and coming up with some sort of letter to send them. You can go on Vistaprint and make your own business cards that look all professional, that you're a real estate scout for real estate investors or whatever. There's a lot of people out there that are stuck in their properties and they can't sell them because they can't afford to fix them up, but they don't think that they can sell them and get any money for them. But there's cash buyers out there that will buy them, flip them, and make a ton of money on them. So, yeah. So anyways, back to the whole financial thing. You can be a miserable cow and still have money, because you can have that programming in your unconscious mind that money is easy, but you might hate people, or you might hate yourself, or you might just be a super negative person. You know, those people that are financially well off and are miserable, that doesn't mean they're going to lose their money. It just means that they're miserable. You know, when they end up in a nursing home when they're 90, they might be by themselves because they've pushed so many people away, even though they've got, you know, $10 million in the bank. That doesn't make you a happy person. That just makes you a financially rich person. So don't get the two confused. You can be financially well off, just like you can be spiritually enlightened and be completely poor and lacking financially. You know, the umbrella of your pie chart of your life isn't money, it's happiness. It's being happy in all of those things, in all of those pieces of the pie. That is what makes your life great. And finances is just a piece of that pie. It's not everything. Finances are huge, but so are relationships, and so is your body and your health. You know, it's like, so put all of those in equal pieces of your pie chart, and then put happiness on all of them. So I just wanted to explain that. I just want to thank Money Wisdom and Jennifer Santiago. I love that last name. I just want to thank you guys for showing up. It's true. It doesn't matter how much money is in your account when you are on your deathbed. I mean, it's nice to know if you're on your deathbed and you have $1 bazillion in the bank and all of your family is going to be taken care of. But it's the attitude of that money. Are you saying you guys better not spend that money on stuff that's dumb to me? Or are you freely giving it up because you're leaving the physical world? You know what I mean? Like, it all just comes down to who you are and what the energy is of that money, you know? So I hope that when I pass away, when I'm old and wrinkly and ready to get out of here, that I have enough money that my kids and my grandkids will be able to, you know, take some amazing vacations and buy some amazing stuff with the money that I left them. And to me, that is awesome. So, yeah. You guys have a great day. I am going to go finish getting ready for the day and have some breakfast. So happy Monday. Thank you so much for showing up to my video, you two. I appreciate it so much. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I do these videos every morning, or most mornings anyways. And I would like to have a plan in place that my kids don't spend it all before their kids get to have it. Oh, yeah. Well, you can do that. You can get all that planned out and have it, certain things go to certain people. I know that because I just had my grandmother just passed away, and she made sure that only certain people got stuff, which, whatever. Have a great and productive day. I sure will. Thank you, Jennifer. So subscribe, hit that bell if you want to know when I'm going live or when I have a new video out, and check out the stuff below the video. I'll get it up there in about 30 seconds after I end this video. There's some great books. There's a cool live seminar with Bob Proctor that's coming up in October that you can purchase. So yeah, have a good one. Bye.